What's up, everybody? XRP Heem here with yet another video. Today, I want to talk about 3 cognitive biases that I see a lot of people on YouTube, forums, myriad of different places utilizing when they're making decisions about getting into XRP and other digital assets. Now, when I say cognitive biases, these are usually thoughts, mental realizations that forces you to make bad trades, or it may influence you to make good trades. But that's beside the point. I want to identify them, and I want you to understand that I'm not doing this to say or detract from anything that XRP, BTC, whatever is doing. I'm just bringing them up so that you're aware of it. The first cognitive bias that I want to speak on today is the recency bias. Now, I wanted to bring up a chart because it puts it more into focus. So a recency bias is more or less you're looking at recent trends and using that to dictate your future purchases or the future prospect of the purchases that you've already made. Now, if we look at, this is the 20-day moving average on Bitcoin, all right? So as it's loading here, we're seeing that over the past month, 2 months, 3 months, what have you, since May, we've been in a very drastic downtrend, all right? And most recently, we've had a very large downtrend due to the fact that Bitcoin Cash SV and Bitcoin Cash ABC both wanted to come into the market and drop millions upon millions of dollars onto it. And in addition, you also had the SEC cracking down on ICOs. And in addition to that, you saw push back their launch of their platform. So we saw a much larger correction very, very recently. And this only compounded with the fact that over the past 6 to 7 months, we've been in an extremely bearish state. Now, in the context of investing for long-term prospects, 6 to 7 months isn't that much, all right? If we truly want to invest for the long term, I'm talking about the 3 to 5, even 10-year term, this can only be thought of as a recent trend, the trend now being down before it was being up. So when this trend reverses, that's when we'll start to see more money come in. Now, there's no guarantee that the trend will ever reverse, but usually in most market cycles, if it is a commodity, that is, you do see a reversal in that trend. And if you allow this recent price movement of extreme downs to dictate whether or not you're going to buy more XRP, then I do believe that's erroneous. I think that most people should realize that the fundamentals are even stronger now than it was at $3.49. Now you see that XRapid is out. Now you see the NYSE backed ICE. You see that they're launching crypto platforms. You see Microsoft has just come out today saying that they have a cold storage solution for a lot of these crypto assets. And you also see that Starbucks will be utilizing this ICE or backed or whatever in order to find the liquidity in order to do their payments. With all of these changes in fundamentals, you have to understand that the price has no other choice but to go up if everything was based on fundamentals. Before, when we were looking at it from a purely speculative point of view, there was no value in order to support that higher price threshold. Now that we have an increased valuation in terms of the fundamentals that are applied to XRP, the platform. And in addition to this increase in strength of these fundamentals, we also have more speculation that should come in and more institutional as well as retail investors coming in due to these large entities coming in. We should see the prices eclipse that high of $3.80 that we saw in January. That was the first cognitive bias I wanted to talk about, and that's recency bias. Number 2, anchoring. Now, anchoring is a very strong cognitive bias. This is when you find a piece of news or a piece of research or a piece of data, and you're basing a lot of your claims and a lot of your decisions based upon this one piece of data. Now, I've seen that in a lot of YouTubers' channels. They're looking at, the fact that BACT is coming out, the fact that we have institutional investors coming in, then it has to go up. But they're really discounting the entirety of the situation. Yes, you see more institutional investors, but with NYSE, you also see more chances for them to short the market. This is one negative that anybody can bring up. Also, you can see a larger degree of manipulation as you see people with fatter pockets coming into this arena. That's not really brought up either. However, if you discount just back and add up everything that I've stated before in terms of the fundamentals plus backed, plus the fact that we've seen that they are bringing in every 6 days a new banking partner, plus the fact that Xcurrent 4.0 is out and it utilizes XRP in order for its cross-border and remittance, plus the fact that Coil is coming into fruition, XParrot is coming in fruition. We have the Tipbot coming out. There's so many different things that you can look at in order to support the argument that you want to make that XRP will go up. That is one of the reasons why I think you should take in the entirety of all of the good, all of the bad news, and weigh the good news, the good fundamentals to the bad news and the negative fundamentals. You have to do that. And I do believe in this particular case, once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do believe in this particular case, the good greatly outweighs the bad. And this also brings me to my last point, which is the bandwagon effect. Now, a lot of people are basing a lot of their buying, their purchasing, and selling of their digital assets, I'm speaking about XRP in this particular case, based on what the majority is doing. Me personally, I have been trading XRP all throughout this bear market. So I've been able to increase my holdings roughly 30% by just trading a set amount of my overall stack on a daily basis. And I do this using technical analysis and fundamental analysis, but I keep the majority of my stack stationary in a cold wallet. Now, the reason I'm doing this and not just holding is because I want to increase my position. And I don't believe, based upon what a lot of YouTubers are saying, that we're going to go to $50 overnight. Shouts out to Sam I Am, or $5.89 by the end of the year. Shouts out to every other YouTuber in the world. All right. So because I was able to dissociate myself to the relatively large amounts of hype that I've seen in the XRP community in regards to XRP, I've been able to increase my personal stack. Now, long term, I do believe very strongly in the prospects of XRP, but in the short term and in the medium term, I'm not going to look at other people's opinions as a very strong more or less guide for how I'm going to do my trading or how I'm going to do my hodling, how I'm going to do my accumulation. And I think you should all do the same. You shouldn't rely on me, first and foremost, or on other YouTubers in order to dictate any of the trading that you do, any of the buying that you do, any of the selling that you do. And just because you're going into echo chambers, such as on Reddit or XRP chat, or even the Discord, because you're in an echo chamber, of course, everybody is going to be extremely bullish about the price of XRP in the long term, which is to be understood. However, if you're trying to do trades such as myself, you have to think about it from a more technical aspect if you want to do these daily trades. But those have been the three cognitive biases that I want to bring up. Number one, the recency bias. Number two, the anchoring effect. And number three, the bandwagon effect. If you can identify any of these effects as something that you do, take a step back, understand why you're doing it. And I understand it's very easy to get hypnotized by a lot of YouTubers, other people that are talking about it, because there's so much good news for XRP. But you have to understand, until the fundamentals are realized by the entire market, it's going to be a while before we get to a valuation above that $3.80 that we saw back in January. With all of that being said, this has been XRP Heme. I hope you guys have a great one. Peace.